California thieves steal $500,000 of marijuana, which is crazy, right? So, Wild Video has captured a group of thieves making off with $500,000 worth of marijuana from a California cannabis shop. Surveillance video outside the Three Bros Marijuana Warehouse on Fair Avenue in Santa Cruz shows at least four cars parked outside the business as masked robbers load the vehicles with dozens of bags of weed. Santa Cruz police said the men used force to break into the store around 2:30 a.m. last Thursday and drove off in different directions once the job was done. A witness told KSBW that the thieves were armed and worked so efficiently that they were in and out in less than 15 minutes. So, they basically stole $5 million worth of weed in 15 minutes. That's crazy. They were masked up, clubbed up, and I had a really hard time even making the description of the people because of the weapons I saw, he said. Wow. Police believe the group was also responsible for a second robbery at another cannabis store on Sunday in the city's Harvey West Park neighborhood. Officials added that the thieves were likely using stolen vehicles and license plates during the heist, making it even harder to track down the suspects. Yeah, pretty much most likely. Especially since this like Dodge Charger. Like I think Chargers and Challengers are one of the most stolen cars out there. With more than a dozen marijuana dispensaries operating in Santa Cruz alone, Police Deputy Chief John Bush said crimes against the businesses have become more common. Unfortunately, this isn't something that's just occurring in Santa Cruz, he told KSBW. It's across all the Bay Area and the region, especially with the recent increase in marijuana dispensaries being allowed to sell marijuana. Bay Area police rang the alarms over the uptick in robberies targeting cannabis shops in 2021, when Oakland Police Chief Ron Armstrong told reporters that hundreds of vehicles targeted marijuana stores that in November, firing 175 shots and stealing about $5 million worth of products. That's pretty crazy. And you would think that maybe the police department would be smart enough to be like, hey, we have a whole bunch of these drugs being sold. Maybe we should have maybe a cop in the area to keep an eye over it. Maybe. So officials said thieves often target marijuana businesses because they incorrectly believe the stores have a lot of cash on hand. Let's see. Let's see some of these comments. LOL, smokers in Santa Cruz will be getting a discount on this weed from their local cannabis providers network. And the thing is, that's probably going to be the case because I think apparently the biggest issues about these dispensaries is that because they're technically legal in a sense, they are going to have to pay crazy amount of fees and then basically pass that on to the customer. So the customer is probably going to pay, who knows, maybe double, triple what they could potentially buy from their next door neighbor. Armed burglary, property destruction, theft of $500,000. Well, actually no, they have theft of 5 million. So in California these days, is that a misdemeanor, a violation, or grounds to claim reparations? Word on the street is that they plan on smuggling it into Mexico. Mexico has a temporary shortage now because most of their 2022 crop has already been shipped into the US. Now, this is a crime I can get behind. Legalization was supposed to stop all the crime. Problem is, they didn't tell the criminals. The problem with the legalization is that it ends up taxing the product. So if you make the product more expensive, customers are going to be like, do we go with the quality of product or do we just go with something cheap? Let's see. Problem is overpriced, overtaxed product that can be grown in your backyard. The dispensaries are a joke. It makes the black market dealer more valuable. Until full legalization and control like alcohol, there will always unfortunately be a black market. Liquor stores don't purchase from black market suppliers or they would lose their license. It massively expanded crime and environmental destruction through thousands of illegal grows, including allowing international criminals to move in and operate with total impunity. It bolsters and creates systems of support for other trafficking like fentanyl. California voters and government are doing more to kill and maim Americans than anything else in this country. Violence in the drug business. Who could have seen that coming when people are robbing Target and clothing stores and Walgreens? So the shop must have had alarms going off for 15 minutes, and not one cop makes it on the scene. Unbelievable. That should be a wake up call to California residents. If you think the police will save you, think again. Let's see. Who cares? Drug dealers robbing drug dealers. The only reason the government cares is because of the tax dollars they lost out on. The price is set by the government. Raise the price, the more the value of the theft. So help me out here. We spend decades and mountains of taxpayer dollars to stamp out smoking, and the government went nuts in a full court press program to put the leading vape company out of business. But weed is okie dokie. Crazy. It was the Amish. Okay. Sounds like a high crime. Criminals being done in by other criminals. Too bad, so sad. That was, I guess that was like meant to happen. If you get yourself involved in selling weed, beware the chances of you getting robbed is highly likely to. So this is what happens when you legalize it and tax the heck out of it. Why anyone would support Stoner Stevens Spiculous Weed Emporium is beyond me. Besides the cartels control the market, they are collapsing the legal market through the black market. LA County has 509 known illegal grow sites, but illegally growing weed is a misdemeanor. Yeah, see, like that's the thing that this is the thing that people need to understand, and also like governments too. It's like you have to make the ease of purchase extremely easy, right? Like very smooth, right? No friction. Like you don't want any friction when it comes to you selling a product to someone. So, if you have a whole bunch of customers who are wanting this product called weed, and you end up putting up a barrier like massive amounts of fees for that product, guess what they're going to do? They are not going to go the legal route. They are going to go the illegal route because they also know in California it'd probably be a slap on the wrist if they were to buy it illegally. Like, it's just crazy to me that they just wouldn't think that something like this would happen. Wealth distribution. Oh, but only criminals can sell it as part of the reparations to those who have been incarcerated from it. Ba, 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 ba. Just think of the tax money the government will lose. If it isn't nailed down, anything can be taken. Inside job? Probably. Feel free to give your thoughts if you stumble upon this. I just thought it was kind of interesting to see that basically a group of people basically made potentially after they sell everything, probably like $4 million cash.